Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hellcat's Arcade. I am your host. Of course, we're going to continue this a little bit, and I kind of have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm going to see my recruitment page. So I think we're past Ted. We're definitely past Ted. I think we have Eugene and Selma. Do we have Kevin and Pam? I don't think so. We're already past that. We're way past that. Melee. Means we need the press. Yep, there's Selma. GK. There's the chicken star. No, I don't know what any of these means. Oh, there's the upper side too. Okay, so Chikai, Chizen. Hey, Tyr. So I'm gonna assume I don't have these people. Okay, so Four cats in a room. start at the bottom. No, I wonder if I can look up here real quick. Mint and mushroom cultivation. Your scores will carry over each time you complete a cycle. It only starts from 0 the first time you try. For the sleep phase, it's recommended you select A for each question. Talk to Now twice at every visit. When he asks for guidance, always pick the first choice. This always produces a normal mint. Every third time, this will result into a war. If you win, you get mixed herbs. Okay, how do I get the awesome mushrooms that I want the mixed herbs pretty much every time, because I think that gives you full magic for every level. Restore 1 MP for each magic level. Inflict poison status. That's not... Oh, it's 1 magic point per level. But you get random status effect. With the exception of the mixed herbs, which gives you recover all MP. So so I want a normal mint. Okay, so 6, 4. So that'd be -1 plus 3. 15 minus 7. So yeah, 8. Weird. Okay. No, these mints and mushrooms don't math. Doctor, there you go. Not yet. I'm looking for the old lady, Deborah. Yep, that's what I was thinking. And then I'll. Hey, Addie. Ted, he is. Oh, he's not right there. Well, he will be. Let's find out where we're at. Oh, what'd you do now? That's awesome. Got that dirty stuff attached to your name, huh? Let's see. Yeah, we'll get rid of all though. Take this. Nah. Cast the net. I was gonna do 428 should be a scramble, but I kind of didn't feel like reading, and I'm good. Ah, so my wife does have the sprinklers on. Kind of a weird time for them to be on, but that's fine, I guess. I don't know, is it better to have them on earlier, later? Water's water, I guess. Helmet. Huh. Now I'm looking into characters, just seeing if I've recruited who I'm supposed to have yet, but I also don't know where these folks are. It tells me to come here. Find me on the bridge. See, that's where the ends. What the hell? Yeah, that's the hot spring. Oh, that's the end. Oh, it's not even an end. Whatever. So let's try this then. I wonder if that's considered a loan. appreciate people who use the stairs. Even if they didn't use them, they'd appreciate the elevator more. So clearly you know who this guy is. He's a good person. Just the fact that he understands my research is wonderful. For now I'm satisfied with just being the privilege to build the elevator on the ship. I apparently need to do a couple of these to recruit one of the guys. I'm guessing, maybe. One of the mermaids? I was told they're all good people, so I'm sure they're all good people. What do you think of Hellcat? They said he's a good person. I'm sure he must be. Yeah, so it's one of the mermaids. Quietly confess the things you wish to atone for and all the things you're thankful for. I want everyone to make more accessories. If you shake your head no, it drops an anvil or something like that. Who's causing problems? Django and Breck. They rarely take a bath, and when they do, they make such a mess. Because of that, after they bathe, I have to drain the water and clean it up. Shisha wish they'd take care of it. He's good when it comes to how to use the bath and stuff, yeah. I think I'm grateful that there's always secure. They always secure a lot of water for the bath. My mission is to use that water to prepare the bath, so that couldn't possibly be any better. I like everyone's like, oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna leave. Alright. I think that's enough. One. Nope. Two. So we'll take out Reinbach. Put him in there. Facts. Yeah. Helga. Apparently both of them. You're getting lucky, lady. Let's okay, so we got silver medal for both of them. Oh, you got some on there, so we're good. Oh, even better. Magic sandals. Silver boots it is. So let's go to the middle port. Oh, I don't even know about that, but I can buy those. That would be good. There are, but not yet. the hell am I missing then? Charlemagne, where the hell is he on the list? Yeah, it's apparently supposed to be pretty. And they act like it's pretty heavily populated, but it's not really. Okay, so I guess if we're able to go to Roswell, I don't think we can do shit with more luck yet. That's Charlemagne, so we're way up there. Okay. And who the hell did I miss? I think the only town that has more people is the town with the cat people. Yeah, how you doing, Frosted? Emma and Gary. That's after Oval. Do I have Eugene? That's the question. I don't know. What's even lazier than taking the elevator? Using the mirror. Oh, there's no one here. Okay. I don't think I've ever played any of the Baldur's Gate games. And his mom never talked to him again. Okay. Alright, what am I doing? Oh, yeah, no, I saw that. When in Rome, do what the Greeks do, I guess? I don't know. Actually, Terry brings up a good point since I messaged him. I'm going to grab a coffee. I'll be right back. grab a piece of jerky to organize. Hey, Michael Hatfield. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, it is. Not that you're missing much. But yeah, oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm not dealing with this. How's it going, Terry?
Not bad. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. No, I finally decided that I think at this time, Street Fighter V is as cheap as it's gonna get. The summer
I'd
sale.
say so, yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'll just get it with as much. Well, and then because there's like 3 different versions they're selling,
Yeah, it is very confusing on purpose.
and I'm like, I'm not spending $17 for or $7 extra for wallpaper. Like that's stupid.
No. So I had a quick look at the Steam page, and from what I can tell, the champion upgrade is the extra characters for the first 4 seasons.
And then the season 5 pass is
Yeah,
part
so
of that second one. So
you need to... Yeah, if you want all of the characters, you would need to buy the champion upgrade, and then season 5 separately. Which is weird. I don't know why they did it that way, but whatever.
well, they have it like I know they have it like separately bundled. Like they have the champion upgrade, and then they're like, well, you can also buy this too. And I'm like,
Okay.
but does that have that? Like that's it's so
I
confusing.
bought all the characters. Like I got the champion upgrade just for the characters. It does also come with like costumes and colors that I never even looked at. But so some of the costumes are actually pretty good. Like they're references to other Capcom games. Like there's one where you can have Ryu look like Arthur from Ghouls and Ghosts. Like okay, some of that stuff is pretty cool. There's like I think it's Rashid has a costume where he looks like Airman from Mega Man.
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of stuff is all right. But yeah, you're mostly just buying extra characters.
Yeah, and I figure some of the characters are actually pretty fun to fun to use.
Oh yeah, no, the characters are good. It's just I'm just saying the costumes are not anything that I care too much about. Like, if you didn't buy any DLC characters, I think you'd only have like 16 characters out of like the final like 50. So yeah, you kind of do need to buy the DLC packs.
Yeah.
But it looks like DNF Duel that Adam and Quiz were like trying to get me to buy.
Yeah.
It's 60% off on Steam, so I think this is the best time there's ever going to be to buy it.
DNF Duel?
Yes. So basically, they took Dungeon Fighter Online and made a fighting game out of those characters. That's
Gotcha.
It's made by the same people who made Guilty Gear.
Well, that's a plus.
Yeah, so I'll probably be buying that sometime today. Yeah, with Street Fighter 5, people give it like a hard time because on launch it was terrible, but the final version is actually a lot of fun. I won arcade mode with every character, and I did survival mode on medium difficulty with every character. So I got a lot of time with Street Fighter 5.
No, because I bought it when I think Hastings, when Hastings was shutting down. I bought Street Fighter 5 for $2.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, from what I got for it, it was definitely a $2 game. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, if you're talking the release of Street Fighter 5 before the DLC dropped, that game was atrocious.
Yeah, that's definitely a $2 game.
Yes.
And then when you got the add-ons, that definitely made it a decent purchase.
Yeah. So I think besides the extra characters, they also fixed up a lot of the problems with the release, because the release version of Street Fighter 5 had basically no content. You could do survival mode and online matches, and that was it.
Yeah.
There was no story mode. There was not even an arcade mode. You could do versus matches against the computer, like one match against a CPU. You could do survival mode, and you could do online matches, and yeah. You wanted anything besides that, screw you. And then they added all the other stuff that is, what you would expect from a single player experience. Kind of got added a year or two later, so yeah. I'm glad you paid $2 for it, because it wouldn't be worth anything more than that.
Yeah. Because I thought about getting it, but I had heard, and that was before, I was smart enough to actually look up stuff before buying it.
Yeah.
But that was back when, also back when G4 was, an actual game show.
Oh, God. I don't think I've ever even seen it. I've seen clips when there was like the Frost controversy, but I never actually watched the show.
Back in the day, back in my day, no, it actually had, relevant video game news that,
Yeah, I've heard that.
that mattered.
Well, yeah, and then Frost started talking about sexism, and it's like, okay, yeah, we're done.
Yeah. We are pretty much done here.
Yeah, I never watched the show, but I did see the Frost green. It's like, okay, well, I know never to watch this channel.
Yeah. It's amazing to see. Well, not really amazing, but like, is it really? It's just a mess.
Oh yeah, and yeah, no, there's a lot of cool characters in Street Fighter V. I definitely think it's worth getting the champion upgrade just for some of the characters.
Yeah.
And
And
even the ones that aren't good like competitively, someone like Gil is just so much fun to play with. He's like really
like as much
like
as I
his
hate,
moves just kind of flow into each other really well.
yeah, as much as I hate Dan, he actually is kind of fun to play as. As far as playing against the computer.
I just realized I should open up chat and say hi to people. But Dan is actually one of my favorite things in that game because Dan had an infinite combo, and you could basically combo like it was like a crouching heavy punch into a fireball, into a forward moving kick, into another crouching punch, and then like just loop it indefinitely. And so the way they fixed it was they actually upgraded the fireball so it had like a 1 in 10 chance of knocking down. So if it knocks down, then the combo fails. So it went from an infinite combo to a decent combo because they powered up Dan as a character. Like they made him stronger and it broke the combo. And it's like that was like the best solution to an infinite combo that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I had never heard of the infinite. No, maybe I did. Well, not for, at least not for Street Fighter.
Yeah, I think they should have let him keep it. I mean, it's Dan.
Yeah.
But given that they tend not to allow such things, this was the best way to resolve the situation. Because if they just, changed the frame data so it didn't combo anymore, all the Dan players would have been like, this is bullshit. Whereas they can't complain too much if their character gets made stronger.
Oh, I didn't know Becca was on here. Words are hard.
Let's
see.
Oh wow, you got Mao in this game? That's a concern.
It was before he became a chairman.
Yeah, the story mode in Street Fighter V is terrible, but I'm glad they finally added something like that to the game.
Yeah, because I mean, like 3 to 4 fights per character is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, and the full story mode, like that is just as bad. Because my problem with the story mode wasn't just that there's only 3 fights per character. The computer is completely brain dead. Like, if you lose any matches in story mode, then I would check to make sure your controller is plugged in. They just stand there and do nothing. I don't know what the point of the fighting sections of the story mode were, because they were that easy. It was like... But at least there's a arcade mode. They finally added arcade mode, which is, the Street Fighter mode. They finally added Street Fighter to Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And, I'd actually thought it was pretty cool that they had like a different arcade ladder for each game. So like you could do the Street Fighter 1 arcade mode, which only had characters that were in Street Fighter 5, but also in Street Fighter 1. So you had obviously like Ryu and Ken and Sagat and Birdie and whoever else. I can't remember all of them.
I think there was only like...
I think Poison was in that later on as well.
I think there was only like 6 characters.
Yeah. There's a very limited arcade ladder, but they wanted, it to represent the first game in the series. And they kind of fudged a few things, like they had Balrog instead of Mike, which is like, okay, that makes sense. And I think any character that was in Final Fight was also allowed in the Street Fighter 1 arcade mode.
Yeah.
Which is why you had stuff like Poison and Abigail and whoever. I can't even remember who was in Street Fighter 5 now. It's been that long, but yeah, no, and then obviously Street Fighter 2, 3, 4, 5. They added, whatever characters are in those games. No, I thought it was really cool that they did that.
Mm-hmm.
And Street Fighter 3, still bullshit. Even in Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 3 is bullshit.
I don't think it's ever not been.
Yeah.
Like, I watched a couple of Let's Plays of Street Fighter 3 because I've never played it up until I think we fizzed around with it with we were talking about doing Fightcade.
Right. Yeah, no, it's easily my least favorite Street Fighter. I don't like any of the characters. That they did finally add some like classic characters like Chun-Li and Akuma later. But the launch of Street Fighter 3 is like, who the fuck are these people? Why is this called Street Fighter if Ryu and Ken are the only Street Fighters in it?
Yeah.
And originally they didn't even want to put Ryu and Ken in the game. They had to because the focus testing was so bad. It's like everyone's like, oh, this isn't even a Street Fighter game. What the hell are you doing? They quickly, at the last minute, threw Ryu and Ken into the game. It's like, no, see, look, you can be Street Fighters.
See, look, they're there.
Hmm.
It's like, you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, I never liked Street Fighter 3. Some of the characters, I'm glad that the characters made an appearance in later games. Like Oro is actually pretty cool. Like the decrepit old man with that fights one arm. I liked him. I like having Dudley as like a counterpoint to Balrog, where like Balrog is just this vicious thug, and Dudley is like this refined gentleman, but they're both boxers.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like an antithesis of the Balrog character.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else was in Street Fighter 3 that ended up being right. I never liked Yun and Yang. I hated those guys. They were annoying. I hated Hugo. Who else was even in the game? That was.
I think wasn't Rolento in that one?
No, Rolento was Street Fighter Alpha.
Okay. Well, I didn't like him anyway.
And T mentioned Sakura. Sakura was in Alpha as well.
In 4?
Yeah. But I'm talking about when they debuted.
Oh.
Yeah, so Street Fighter 3 did not have Rolento and did not have Sakura. Those were introduced in Street Fighter Alpha and then brought back in Street Fighter 4. And Sakura was even in Street Fighter 5 and will probably be in Street Fighter 6. She's a very popular character. But yeah. Street Fighter 3, I mean, Gil, I hated, but, like, fighting against Gil, I hated because he cheated and he had that stupid fucking resurrect ability.
Yeah.
Which I think was retarded. But actually playing either with him or against him in, like, a regular fight where he can't do that shit, he's a pretty cool character. I did like Gil if you took away his ability to be broken and just have 2 life bars. Uh, Frosted is saying pull that flowchart. Yeah.
Well, since you have time, did you want to go over, I don't know, maybe Hitmonchan, since Tier's in the audience and he is paying attention.
Well, I mean, I'm happy to, but, but
Well, Tier's not in the stream, so we'll save that.
no, he's in chat, and I generally think it's more impactful if I read it out during the midnight show, but unfortunately, if I go to like the current generation, they're like, why would we write an article about Hitmonchan? They're useless. But if you go back to the previous generation, they do recommend an Assault Vest set. With Rapid Spin, Drain Punch, Knock Punch, Throat Chop, and an Assault Vest. And I will read verbatim the entire article on Hitmonchan. Don't use Hitmonchan. That is the article. They just said, don't use him. He's shit.
Alright, so we got set up here. Fire beats wind, wind beats earth. So we are... Alright. Fire's better than wind. Wind beats earth. So fire, at the very least, would be the best bet there.
One thing I saw that may be of relevance to Tier, the format that we play when we play against each other, they might be banning terrestrialization. They're currently doing a suspect test on it. So that would probably mean he's got to like go make whole new teams if they ban this one thing. So, like I don't care because I enjoy making new teams. Like I made 20 of them. And I'll continue to make more. But for someone who doesn't have the free time that I do, it may be worth letting Tier know that he may need to either modify or create new teams if they decide to ban it.
That's gonna be... Actually, the best part about being able to actually cheat on this,
Yeah.
is getting the ocean pieces to work. Because I don't know if you're watching, but I can just bomb someone from here now.
Tier is saying really why? I don't know why. I just when I played the match against you, at the top of the screen it said the terrestrialization was being suspect tested. I haven't read the thread. Most of it seems to be people just posting that they're qualified to comment. Because with Smogon, every time they do a suspect test, you have to reach a certain amount of points in the ladder. Like I couldn't just rock up and say, hey, don't ban it. I would need to prove that I'm good enough at the game that my opinion matters. And so yeah, you can play the ladder to reach a certain rank, and then they'll listen to your opinion, and you can get to cast a vote. So I don't know why people are banning it. I think it's fine. I don't have any problem with like once a game, one Pokemon can change its typing. That's fine. Not that disruptive. Yeah, I don't know their reasoning, but apparently there's enough complaining about it that they're going to do a suspect test and see if people want it banned.
Absolutely
How many
love.
how many Suikoden games were there? Because I see that we're up to number 4 at the moment, but how many did they make?
Let's see, there's the 5. There's another one for I think it is for the Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
And then there's one for the PSP that was Japanese only, but they actually have a translator thing for it.
Okay, nice.
Which I actually downloaded. I just haven't played it yet.
Fair enough. I am glad that there's some fans passionate enough to actually translate games that were only released in Japanese and like release the translation patches. Because without that, I never would have been able to play Bahamut Lagoon, which I really enjoyed back in the day. I think was a SquareSoft game. But yeah, you basically had these dragons that you could upgrade. Pretty fun.
I don't think I played that one.
Yeah, if you get a chance, give it a go. I enjoyed it. Oh, I'm reading the thread on terrestrialization, and they're like, this tier is a mess and Terra needs to go. Like, there's not any explanation, just like I didn't have fun, so I want it gone. So I don't know why people are complaining about it.
Yeah, I'm really wishing I should have
It has come to this.
thought about it and played it a bit smarter and then just maxed out everything. Rather
We
than just...
surrender.
I just went
I
to
do not want
100
either
for
of us
each
to
person,
suffer any more
or for each
losses.
ship.
Will you
So I was like, oh, that should be
charge
enough.
my men? I do not
And
care
I'm
what you
like,
do
well,
with
I'll
me.
just lower up the
I am
ammo a
prepared
bit,
to meet
the
my
armor a
fate.
bit, and then just kind of, I'll just
Very well.
lower the armor and then
I
bring
was
it
always hesitant
into,
to invade Razaril without reason.
bring it
But
into
I suppose that
the
is
firing
nothing but an
range. So
excuse.
I'll increase the
Probably too
distance
late
I'll be
to
able to
atone for
fire,
what I've done. But
and
please,
then
let us join you
kind
in
of
battle.
just, max offense, lesser defense. Because by the time, if my offense is maxed out, they're not going to reach me by the time I get there.
Yeah, I am. You just remind me when I was cheating at Final Fantasy VIII, and then because I cheated, I kind of got lazy and didn't like farm like death protection and stuff like that. So I got to one of the bosses and it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna use my death spell. It's like, oh, having like 100 Curaga spells doesn't really help against that. Yeah, it doesn't matter that I've got 7,000 hit points when you just wipe them out in a single hit.
Yeah.
So I gave up because like there was no way for me to go back and grind. I was like past the point of no return. I was like, well, shit. So I might play it again at some point. It's not a very good Final Fantasy game, to be honest, but
Like,
I've never finished it, and I think this might be why.
it was good until maybe the 3rd disc.
Yeah, that's where I got up to.
And then the 4th disc is just like, the ending is just, it just felt rushed and... Yep, that's how the end goes. Congratulations. It's like,
I think it was a very bad idea for them to have the random encounters level up at the same speed that you did.
yeah.
So when you go up a level, it doesn't feel like you've gotten any stronger because the enemies are just stronger as well.
Like, I can see, you know, increasing their hit points, but not their strength as well.
No, well, see, for me, I think what it should be is different areas should have different strength enemies. So if you're at the end of the game and for some reason you go back to the starting area, you should be completely murdering every enemy you come across because they should be like level 3 and you're level 80.
Just you're fighting imps, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I think there's nothing wrong with if for whatever reason you go back to the start area and you're encountering what used to be a level 3, it should still be a level 3 when you go back. It shouldn't, oh, well, now that you're level 80, you're going to fight level 80 imps. No. then why did I level up?
But
what was the point?
I don't want to fight imps that are like murder imps. Like,
yeah. Yeah, when you get the game on Steam, they have like this mode that gives you 100 of most, but not all of the spells. So you get like 100 Curaga, 100 Thunder, Thundara, Thundega, you know, all that stuff, but they don't give you all of them. So that's why I had no death protection, because death is not one of the spells that the cheat mode gives you. Yeah, same with like Reflect, you don't get that one, or trying to think what else there is, but yeah, there's a handful of spells that they just don't give you 100 of for whatever reason, and not having them means that I died. And apparently they only leveled with Squall, so whatever level Squall was, that's how high of a level the other enemies were. You could keep Squall at level 1, I guess, and then have, you know, level 80 Renoa and Quistis and all the rest of them, and like storm through the game that way, I guess.
yeah. I don't know, it's still kind of... It was a downside to the game, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure. My favorite thing about Final Fantasy VIII was Triple Triad. Like, forget the actual game. Just give me Triple Triad as its own release, and I probably would have enjoyed that more.
Actually, it was really funny because I told my friend, because he was playing 8, and I'm like, he's like, yeah, I gotta go to work, you know, I'll be gone for at least, you know, a couple hours. And I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, he goes, I go, I got an idea. You just go to work, you know, I'll think of something. And what I ended up just doing was taking his GFs and just farming ability points.
Oh, cool.
And so I'm like, oh, did you realize that these things had skills?
Yeah.
And so I had spent the entire time he was at work either like farming skills and playing Triple Triad and farming the cards for skill stuff, like for spells.
Yeah.
And he's like, I did not have a single clue. Like,
Yeah. One of the things I really didn't like is the way they named the abilities. It was really confusing because it was like, once you knew what everything meant, you could decipher what the abilities were. But it's like, I think because they had a character limit and they tried to cram too much information into like 8 characters.
yeah.
Like, what the hell is, you know, I can't even remember, but it was like GF this plus 20%. It's like, what the hell are you even talking about? And then once you like understand the game a bit better, you can be like, oh, okay, this raises its ability points by 20% or whatever. But yeah, no, that was really confusing and unnecessarily so. Yeah, no, it's just not a good game overall.
No. Oh, not at all.
I did quite like 9 though. 9 was a big improvement.
I did like 9.
9 kind of went back to basics. No more confusing nonsense. It was just like, Here's a regular Final Fantasy game. Enjoy. It's like, thank you.
Yeah, there was no like you had your characters were what determined what your skills were.
Yes.
Like you're like, oh, I want to use blue magic here, so I'll get the frog lady.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, okay, perfect.
I did like that you learnt your abilities from the items. So like you could wear a helmet and it's like plus 10 hit points, and if you level up while wearing the helmet, eventually the 10% hit points became permanent. And like same with like, you know, fire magic or whatever, or healing. You could learn abilities just by like when you put on an item, it gave you an ability, but if you leveled up enough with that item, the ability became permanent. And like, that's pretty cool.
Well, I don't think they actually had imps on. I don't think they had imps in 8.
I don't remember.
The first enemies were bugs.
Yeah, the enemies were basically just XP. I didn't pay much attention to what they actually were. Tyler says he doesn't think he's ever played Final Fantasy. There's some good ones in the series. I would skip basically the first 3. The 3 that are on the Super Nintendo are pretty good. Even though, you know, I've made my thoughts on the reset halfway through 6. I've made my feelings on that pretty clear. But everything up to that point in 6 was awesome.
I will say that the only thing I will say is 1 is good as a basic. Like, don't expect anything, you know, spectacular out of it. But
yeah,
it's still a pretty good basic game.
Yeah. 1 is like if you had to play one of the early Final Fantasies, I would say yeah. 1 is the best out of the first 3.
2 is hot garbage.
It is.
And 3 is hotter garbage.
3 at least had some interesting ideas, like with the ability to change classes and all that. It's just poorly implemented. Yeah, I was not a fan of the third one. 4 was interesting because you actually had no control over who was in your party in Final Fantasy 4. It was like completely dictated by the story, which...
It was pretty linear up until...
Yes.
The end. Like, at least it wasn't 13,
yeah,
but yeah.
4 is not great in terms of like the gameplay, but at least it had a decent story and it was fun to play. It's just that you didn't have much control over like the composition of your team, what abilities they would learn. All that was like set in stone before you even started, so that was a bit disappointing. 5 is okay. It tried to improve on the job system from the third game. It did it better, but still didn't really... I don't think anyone considers 5 to be their favorite. Like, it's kind of just easily forgotten.
5 is okay.
Yeah,
but
it's okay.
It has a lot of the tropes that like 4 like wanted to tell. Like it's all the leftover jokes that were like B-sides from 4.
Yeah. So Tier in chat says his favorites are 6, 9, 4. I mean, the first half of 6, sure. 9 is good. 4, as I said, is a bit too limited, a bit too restrictive for me. My favorite is 10. 10, finally a return to pure turn-based fighting. Like, that's all I ever wanted. Just give me turn-based. None of this active time battle stuff. Just let me pick an option from the menu, and that'll be what move I do. That's perfect.
The only use for active time battle is to tell you whose turn it is.
Yeah, but
That's it.
like Final Fantasy X, on the side of the screen listed the next like 10 turns, like whose turn was coming up for the next 10 turns.
Yeah.
So yeah, 10 was my favorite. People keep ragging on 7, but 7 was my introduction to the series, so I'm always going to have a soft spot for it.
It's really funny. My friend made one joke one time, not even really serious about it, but he made an off joke, and it offended his ex so bad that like he stuck with that. 4 is essentially a tale of someone coming out to their parents. and they're like, well, what do you mean? And he's just like, yeah, you have this, Cecil, who's a dark knight, and then he's brooding, and he's why do I got to be such a bad guy, blah blah blah. And then when he gets to the ordeals, and then he's a glistening guy with rainbow hair. She's like, that's not what it means, and he's like, oh yeah, it is. Like, I have no argument now, but you're losing your shit over this.
I think people read way too much into those things. Like, if you desperately need it to be a story about someone coming out to their parents, then sure, you can like interpret it that way if you really want to. But to suggest that whole story is an allegory for being gay is a bit silly.
It's a bit much.
Apparently T did not like 7. I know he hated the remake, which is very understandable, but apparently he hated the first Final Fantasy 7 as well. Like I said, it was my introduction to the series. I enjoyed it. And I've got like, nostalgia for it, so I would still rate it fairly highly. I like the materia system. I like that each character has their own what are they called? Like their super move where like Cloud had the Omni Strike or the
limit breaks.
Limit break. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, I like that each character had their own one of those, but you still had customization in terms of what materia you equipped. Yeah, no, I think 7 was pretty good. But I realize that it has become a lot less popular as time has gone on. But no, I still like it. The remake, I did not like that. That annoyed me.
If they had it as turn-based, it would be so much better.
Agreed. But not only that, I didn't like the plot ghosts that were like trying to keep the story the same as the original.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to kill those ghosts so that they can do whatever the fuck they want with the story. It's like, oh, if you're gonna do whatever the fuck you want with the story, why call it Final Fantasy VII? What's the point of remaking the game if you're not gonna do the same thing? Like, well, if you're gonna completely change the story, then who the hell cares? I will say Final Fantasy VII Remake was a very beautiful game, in terms of the graphics.
Oh, it looks phenomenal.
Very, very nice. Yeah, it was very, very nice to look at. The character design was really, really good. But yeah, no, the actual game was terrible. when they release the next part of it, which maybe they already have, I don't know. But I will just watch Maximilian. I'll watch him play through it. I'm not going to buy the game myself. And I assume Frosted is trolling in chat. He says he likes 1, 4, and 8. I assume that's because I said I didn't like them, and I'm pretty sure Frosted doesn't like anything Japanese, so I can't imagine that he's a big Final Fantasy fan. Like, and yeah, I agree with Tier. He's saying they didn't remake the game, so why are they calling it a remake? I agree. No, that is my big complaint as well.
I mean, reboot would have been a lot more clear.
Yeah.
1, 4, 8, and 8.
Oh, okay. I now get it. Like, I just assumed it was because I'd said that I didn't particularly like those ones, but yeah, 1488, okay.
I have to talk to fucking everyone? God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, get back to work.
Japanese games are like Hitler's paintings. Nice to look at as long as there's no people in it. Yeah, the excuse they used for Final Fantasy VII Remake not being anything like the original, well, I mean, it is a bit like the original, but, you know, being so different from the original, is Sephiroth is trying to remake the story, so that's why it's a remake. Like, it's not saying the game is a remake, it's saying that it's a title related to the plot. It's like, shut the fuck up. You know what you're doing. You know what people will assume from the name Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Like,
yeah.
Don't give us that
bullshit. Yeah. I mean, I can understand anyone who bought the game based on the title expecting it to be an actual remake. Like, 99% of people who see that title will make the reasonable assumption that it's a remake of Final Fantasy VII.
Well, and when I first bought into it, it's I pre-ordered it. I think I was like, but when I pre-order, I don't pre-order months in advance. I pre-order like a week in advance.
We've gathered
Like,
quite a few
so I know that game's coming out.
Let our leader declare his intentions.
Yeah, I mean, that's just common sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if they say, we've got a game coming out sometime next year, give us money now, like, no, I don't think I will.
Because yeah, unless the whole thing just melts down from moment one, yeah, there's no way in hell I'm pre-ordering.
No, there's no reason why you should. It's not like they're going to run out of copies on Steam.
Yeah.
Like, with physical copies, it at least made sense there, where if it was like a high-demand game, you pre-ordered to make sure you could get it day one. Like, I could at least understand that. But on digital, it was like, yeah, there's infinite copies. You don't need to pre-order.
Yeah. Yeah, and fuck your anti-emulation stance.
Oh yeah.
Like that is. I could not care less, but like if I could play the game, because I do have a hard copy of this game.
Yeah.
But it's so much easier to play on an emulator.
Of course.
Since I have a
I think,
computer that can actually run it. But
I think Steam has the right idea when it comes to piracy. They basically say piracy is a service problem. You need to offer a better service than the pirates do. And like, they're right. Steam offers things that a pirated copy of the game doesn't offer. So, you know, if you want the benefits of Steam, then you have to pay for it. If you're happy with just the pirated version of the game, then yeah, go do that. And so yeah, I think that's a good attitude. It's like, rather than try to lock everything down so no one can copy the game, like, no. If you want a copy of the game, go ahead, but you will miss out on the following perks from using it within our platform.
Yeah,
I see. You may go.
Yes, sir.
He apparently pre-ordered Age of Wonders 4.
That's the group that's apparently been.
I can't remember if I played that or not. The name is familiar, but I don't remember what kind of game it is.
What shall we do? Shall we prepare the fleet?
I think with most games, like say like Civ 6, take like that for example. If they were like, okay, you can pre-order this now, I would feel safe pre-ordering something like Civ 6 because it's from someone that's you know what's going to get released.
But there's also no benefit to pre-ordering. Like, there's no difference between pre-ordering the game and buying it on release.
Is the true
It's
rune
like
such an important
you're buying
thing?
the same thing. You're just like, if it's more convenient for you, like with your like budgeting, if you've got like, okay, this is my $100 like luxury for the month, then I'll buy it now because you know that fits my budget. Sure, I mean if you've got a reason to do it, then do it. But I'm just saying, there's no real benefit to pre-ordering as opposed to just buying on release.
Probably in exchange for military backup.
You can preload the game. So if you don't want to have to install it on the day, I guess buy it the day before so you can install it.
Are you saying we are merely a tool for rune?
Yeah, there's no real benefit to pre-ordering a digital copy of the game. So
We are acting
I
on that
don't
policy.
bother.
The plan is already in motion.
Yes, the governor's policy and our goal. I came to the backwaters of El Ile with the governor because we had common interests.
Oh, okay.
Regardless of
Yeah,
what you
if you can save $30 by pre-ordering, then yeah, pre-order. Like Thierry's saying, he got the Ultimate Edition, presumably of Age of Wonders 4, for $70 instead of $100. Yeah. If they're giving you $30 to pre-order, then take the money. If you're gonna buy the game either way, then yeah, pay $70 instead of $100. I've got no problem with that.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting Street Fighter 6 because I saw they had the Ultimate Edition. I think it was $81 what they were selling it for on Fanatical. And I'm like, that's almost worth it.
The governor is apparently under the weather.
I mean, if there's financial incentives, then sure. Frosted points out that most pre-orders come with some minor bonus content. Yeah, minor. It's always stuff that I don't care about. Like, pre-order and you get, a new hat. Like, all right.
You get a hat that does absolutely nothing.
Yeah. But they have to do that because if they said here's like an extra boss that you only get by pre-ordering, people would hit the roof because if they found the game later, they just permanently locked out of content. I was like, that's not fun. So, like the pre-order bonus can't be anything too good, or it has to be made available for purchase later anyway. I was like, nah. I
Indeed.
very low priority is pre-ordering games. 'Cause, yeah, you'll
Is it all right now?
get more or
Between you
less
and
the
me,
same thing
I'm worried about the
if
governor.
you just wait for release.
Cray said he was ill, but I have a feeling Cray may have done something.
What?
Even
I
if
had it
Street
looked
Fighter
into,
6, the first DLC
but
character
no
is
one has
coming
seen
out
the
this
governor
month,
these last
so
few days. I sense
that'll be
something
cool.
is amiss.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Rashid, but
It's also possible
Hey,
that
more
the
content.
southward advancement
Yeah.
policy from the previous governor.
I thought he
has
was
been
pretty fun to
halted.
use on
It's
in
unlikely,
4.
but could the Central Committee be?
5 you mean?
We
Was it fun?
cannot deny that as a possibility.
Rashid was not in 4.
There
Rashid was
are
introduced in
especially
5.
many among the
Oh, okay.
elders who are calling for
Oh, that's
sanctions
right.
against
That's
the
right.
Scarlet Moon to the north.
Um,
I'm
Yeah,
getting
I mean,
I'm getting my
he's not-
games mixed up.
yeah, no, it's
So
fine.
in that case, should we act?
He's cool enough. He's not someone I would play as,
For
but he's
now,
fun to
at
fight
any
against.
rate,
He's got some cool
We should
stuff.
probably
Yeah.
first confirm whether this situation
I'm
is
basically
in
waiting for
accordance with
Akuma.
His
Akuma's
Majesty's
the only
wishes.
character in the season,
But
first season that I
Now
really
is
care
not a good
about,
time.
which is why they left him for
Obu is
last.
in danger of being retaken. With your permission,
Yeah, get the
I
ones
must
you
return
don't
to
you know
the
you're not
Second
going to
Fleet
use
immediately.
out of the way.
Yeah.
So Troy,
Um.
please wait
So
aboard
after
the First
Rashid, I
Fleet's
believe is
flagship
Ed,
until further
and
notice.
Ed is like my
I
least
will
favorite
do
character in
anything
the
in my
entirety
power
of
to
Street Fighter
stop them.
5. So I don't care that he's coming out.
Do
From
not
my
push
understanding,
yourself
he's
too
a lot
much.
of people's not
So
favorite.
Troy,
Yeah,
you are
he's
still a young
terrible.
man.
Then there's a
It
new
is your
character called
generation
Aki
that will
or
build the
AKI.
future
Or
of this country.
we'll find out how to pronounce it later, I guess.
However, it is my
He's basically
generation
a
that
girl
bears
version
the
of
responsibility
Fang, who I
for
also
your
didn't like.
future.
I was
just
like,
feel the
alright. I
current
mean, you're
situation
getting all the unpopular
may be
characters
more
in
dangerous
5
than we had
in the first
originally
season
thought.
pass for whatever reason. Have fun. And then finally Akuma comes out and it's like, okay, yeah, I do want to play as Akuma.
Yeah.
I'm not very good with Akuma. Like, if you've seen me play, I'm not good either rushing down or getting rushed down. So Akuma is actually a pretty bad fit for me, but he's just such an awesome character that I do quite enjoy playing as him, even if I'm not quite as good as I would be with like Ryu or someone.
Yeah. When I'm using Fang, he's too floaty. Like,
Yeah. And that floaty is a very bad thing to be in a game with consistent anti-airs. It's like,
yeah.
that's actually why I started winning against Adam in the Jackie Chan game, because jumping in that game is like really, really slow and bad. Like, I mean, Adam jumps a lot, so if you're gonna jump in a game where jumping is bad, yeah, I'm gonna anti-air.
It's like
I will
Dalston
restore
too.
the
He's
knights
another
to
one
their
that's kind of
old
floaty.
glory.
Yeah.
His weight
So
just piled on.
Delsim at least compensates with the stretchy limbs, so you can keep yourself safer. Like, you can be on the other side of the screen where it doesn't matter as much that your jump is terrible. And I agree with Frosted. If they had a Bison skin that made him look like Raul Julia, I would 100% buy it. But like, I'm not one for cosmetics, but I would buy that one.
I agree. I think I would pay full price for that. Just
Yeah.
because that would be something that's just awesome.
From what I can tell, Bison will not be added to Street Fighter 6 because, according to the storyline, he's dead. And like, I don't think that matters. I think, it's a fighting game. You can come up with a bullshit reason why. Oh, we thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Guess what we found? Oh, there's good old Mr. Bison hiding out in Thailand again.
Well, they killed and resurrected Liu Kang twice, so yeah, you can bring M Bison back once.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, for whatever reason, Street Fighter seems to take its lore a little more seriously. I don't know why. Like, no one cares about the lore in a fighting game.
no.
But no, like, Bison is canonically dead, so he will not be in 6.
No, it's funny because you're like, wait, there's a story here?
There is a story. It's about as good of a story as you would expect from a fighting game, which is, I don't know why they bother. Yeah, I would like Sagat to come back in Street Fighter 6 because I like using him. I like firing tiger shots from the other side of the screen and hitting people out of the air with his kicks.
Sweet.
It is funny in Street Fighter 6. Everyone is complaining about the ranked mode, basically saying it's too easy. And like I understand the complaint because you gain a lot more points for a win than you lose for a loss. So you actually only need like a 40% win rate to move up a level, like to rank up. So there's all these people in like master rank saying, you know, master rank is supposed to be for good players. Why am I still encountering scrubs who don't know how to play the game? And yes, Frosted, Mortal Kombat does have skins that resemble the actors in the movie. I think it might be different because of the different graphical style. Like Mortal Kombat always used motion capture, like actual like humans, like, and so it's probably a lot easier to make those characters look like the actual actors. Street Fighter tends to be a bit more stylized, like.
I didn't like it when they went from 3 to 4 because I wasn't a fan of the overinflated body characters.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Zangief in 2 was, you know, ridiculous enough as it was.
Yeah.
And then my friend bought 4. I think it was Ultra 4. And he's like, yeah, you know, it's been a while since we played a game like this. I figured I'd get it.
Yeah.
And you know, it was fun, but I'm like, it was definitely different. It had a different feel to it. You know, going from 2 to 4.
Right.
Or even Alpha for that matter. And
yeah, I mean, I liked 4, but I also didn't use all the system mechanics because like, I never did like FADCs or anything. It was just like, no, just let me play 4 as if it were 2, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I played everything. Like,
yeah. Like in 6, there's a thing called Drive Impact, where it's got 2 hits of armor, and if it hits as a counter attack, they crumple and you get to do a full combo. And like in ranked mode, that is the only button anyone pushes. It's awesome. Like they will just sit there hitting that button and like doing this big slow counter attack. It's like, thank you. You missed, and now I get to punish you. But I will admit I tend to overuse the button as well. So, but not to the extent that some of the people online do.
yeah, I think I'm pretty close to the end. I was gonna do. I think when I do 428 Shibuya Scramble, I'm just gonna call the streams Hellcat on Phonics.
Yeah, there's a hell of a lot of reading in 428. But I mean, you didn't read everything in Perfect Date or anything. You read bits and pieces, but a lot of the time you were just quiet and let the audience read it off the screen if they wanted to.
Yeah, that's kind of how I do it.
Yeah. No, No, I really really liked 428. I'd still say it's my favorite visual novel. Something about you know, trying to get all the characters' timelines to sort of meet up, and the way that, you know, what seems like an innocent or like unrelated event in one character's storyline actually impacts on the other characters. It's like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna play the first one, just making all the dumb decisions possible. Instead of playing like how I normally would play a game. Just because essentially when you do, you kind of get your good ending first.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
For what it's worth, collecting all the bad endings in 428 is actually something that you can go for. Like, it actually tracks how many bad endings you've found. So I mean, doing all the dumb choices probably worthwhile because you get to see all the different endings.
Yeah. But and then you get something like Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain I played through thinking it was just going to be, you know, you're playing a movie, whatever. The only thing that'll change is if your characters die.
Right.
And then I'm going through and I'm like, the different endings are reliant on so much more than that, and I don't like that.
I played Heavy Rain for about 15 minutes before I was like, no, fuck this is boring. Like, nothing happened. And like, from memory, like, the kid ran away, you shouted his name in the shopping center. Then you found like a dead bird in your backyard, and like, this is going nowhere, I'm done. So yeah, not a fan of Heavy Rain. I'm sure it gets better eventually. Like, there's people who love it, but the start was so slow.
Oh, I got a third ship.
Yeah, Frosted says David Cage games are always boring and pretentious, video game equivalent of Oscar bait. Well, assuming that Heavy Rain was in fact made by David Cage, I would agree. From what I played of it, it was terrible.
Like, it could have been so much better, but yeah, all in all, like, just don't. Like,
yeah, no, definitely not for me. And I like interactive movies, like Psychic Detective. I loved that game as a kid, or as a teenager. And like, that is literally, you're watching a movie and the only thing you can really control is which character's perspective you're watching the movie from. And like, that was awesome. It's like, oh, I wonder what, you know, this character over here is doing, so you can jump over and see the story from their perspective. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. But Heavy Rain is just boring.
It's one of those things that I'll always say that it had. What the hell's the word for it? Potential.
Right.
But yeah, all in all, garbage. Like.
Yeah. No, I like I said, I played it for about 15 minutes, and I'm not gonna play it again.
A friend of mine talked me into it, and I'm just like, I can see why you liked it. Like, it's good if you have a game that you don't really. It's an empty game. It's not really. No, it's not really. You'll get your story, but there's no like action to it. There's no game. There's no higher energy to put into it.
Yeah. So apparently David Cage made Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, Detroit Become Human, and Indigo Prophecy. So I've played none of those besides Heavy Rain.
I have played one of those. Like,
see, I was curious about Detroit Become Human, but if it's made by the same guy who made Heavy Rain, and it's just as bad as Heavy Rain, maybe I'll save my time. Yeah. It sounds like this David Cage guy is not for me. So. I don't think. Oh no, I'm not signed in to Steam for some reason, but. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do own Detroit Become Human, but I haven't played it, and it sounds like I probably shouldn't.
oh. It's a dinky little ship that's gonna be nothing. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Psychic Detective is a good bad game. Like, well, I mean, good bad movie, I guess. Interactive movie. I wouldn't recommend it if you want something that's actually good, but if you want something that's so bad it's good, Psychic Detective is pretty fun. Oh, okay. So Frosted says Detroit Become Human is super on-the-nose social commentary where the androids are just a stand-in for enslaved blacks. Yeah, I already don't like it. Unless you can take a pro-slavery stance. If you can play the game pro-slavery and you know, make the conditions for the androids even worse, maybe, but oh, okay. Frosted says you can get the bad ending where they're all exterminated. Okay, maybe I'm back on board.
You had me at exterminated.
Yeah. Kyla says, I find myself playing hentai clickers more often than not these days. Alright, I mean... Those idle games where, you know, like Cookie Clicker and apparently like whatever hentai versions there are of those clicking games, those games annoy me. Like, they're addictive for a while and then you realize that nothing you're doing matters.
Snow.
And then I
So
just get
you're a
annoyed
pirate
and quit.
now? Shut up! I can do what I want.
Though I suppose having the anime
should we
boobs
do?
to look at would probably soften the blow a bit.
I just can't bring myself to work with you.
Worst character ever.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Why do people flock to you so much? People just keep leaving.
Like, I do want to see a
Isn't
show
anyone like me?
that kind of plays that's a game that a friend of mine actually got me into buying. It was Fairy Fencer F. And
What was it called again, sorry?
Fairy Fencer F.
Okay.
And it's a JRPG type game. And the character is like just a matter of fact, like, I don't care. Like, so
Fair enough.
he's sitting here and he's like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm gonna steal this piece of bread. And so he does. and he gets thrown in jail, and then he discovers that he has this special ability, and he's like, all right, and it's this like cutesy anime girl, and she's like, all right, how are we gonna use our abilities? And he goes, nah, I'm gonna go to sleep. He's like, I don't want to deal with any of this, like I just want to go to sleep. And so the entire, at least as far as I've played, is just him just being like, let me guess. This is going to happen. This is going to be this. And I have to do this. She's like, yep. All right.
Apparently Frosted is not a fan of the anime boobs. They're too big to the point of being off-putting. I guess. It depends on the art style. On the artist. I'm sure there's some that are more reasonable, but I don't know. To paraphrase what I said on the corner, more boob equals more good.
What was I doing? Oh yeah.
And yes, Kyler's mentioning Honey Pop. Yeah, okay, that game was at least had like a match 3 game to it, so it wasn't cookie clicker where you're just clicking for the sake of clicking. There was actually some kind of purpose to what you were doing. Yeah, Honey Pop is fine, but the idle games where you literally are just clicking for the sake of clicking, so that you get, buy things that give you more money, so that you can automatically click, and then you can use those points to buy things that let you automatically click even faster. Those tend to annoy me. They're like addictive, and then you realize, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
And then you stop.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it is. Frosted is the Willing Critter Christmas. She's just like, and that was Kyle. He's just like, I know what's gonna happen here. I don't want to do anything. Like, let's see here. There she is. Oh crap, I gotta get going. I gotta go pick up my stepdaughter from work.
Yeah.
Well, about 15 minutes. It's a good thing I caught that now.
Yeah.
Why did she call me? She's like, so where are you at? Oh, I see you're streaming. Never mind. Like, oh, yeah. That's the downside of your wife being subscribed to you.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, we're going over here.
Does she actually watch the streams, or does she just subscribe so she can see when you're streaming and when you're not?
She'll jump in and kind of, she'll jump in and say hi to everyone and then just leave.
Alright, well then. Hi, Mrs. Hellcat, just in case you're watching.
She doesn't watch on in her free time, but yeah, she'll lurk.
Okay.
But yeah, she's working anyway, so yeah, it's But yeah, I think so. I am going to shut this, at least this part down. But then I will bring up I'll bring up Steam since that's kind of where I was going with this.
Here says Yo Hellwife, which is a great name.
No, she is forever Mrs. Hellcat because she made the mistake of asking
They're
not
saying
to be
not to
called.
call her that. Yeah, no, I mean, you're Johnny Hellcat. She's your wife. It stands to reason that she is Mrs. Hellcat.
Well, as soon as she's like, well, can you have them not do that? And I'm like, okay, you don't know how this works, do you? I'm like, you...
But no, it's not even that I'm trying to spite her. It's just, like, you're Johnny Hellcat. Your wife is Mrs. Hellcat because I don't know her first name.
I mean, that's kind of how it goes.
Like, Frosted says he's Johnny, so she's obviously Lisa Hellcat. That makes sense. I can support that logic.
Except for she's not tearing me apart.
Yet.
Oh, it's not letting me display the Steam page.
Uh-oh.
That is weird.
Jackie's Denny.
I wonder if I need a different OBS thing for it then. Maybe? Yeah? No?
Hate Camel is Mark. See, the whole thing is coming together. I think I better claim Chris R before anyone else does. So I'll be the drug dealer.
Anyway. Well, enough trying to display that. Let's bring this up here real quick. So, yeah, Street Fighter V, which of course is the $10 with the Champion Edition wallpapers, Champion Edition upgrade kit. And
yes.
Then there is the Champion Edition and Season 5 Premium Pass Bundle.
That's the one that will have all of the characters because Season 5... I forget exactly who was in it, but there was like Oro, Dan, Akira, and someone else. There's like 4 or 5 characters in that Season 5 one.
Alright, so let's see if the... Oh, gross. Yeah, Dan, Rose, Oro, Luke, and...
Luke, of course,
that
yeah.
chick is.
But I forget Luke. And he says, I'm happy there are no black characters. So Frost says, I declare you to be Doggy. And Moon is obviously Lisa's mum because he definitely had breast cancer. Yeah,
Well,
I mean...
He's the favorite... he's the favorite customer.
the rumors. So bad, but so good at the same time.
So yeah, it looks like I'm stuck paying the $20. But it is what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, for the game that you're getting, $20 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean, it's not like they're still selling it for $80. But yeah, so yeah, then we can add that to the tournament fight.
yeah, if that ever happens.
If and when.
I mean, as I've said, look, if you tell me where and when, as long as I'm like not sleeping or streaming, I'll be more than happy to join.
It's moreover just trying to get, like, I would like to get as many people who would be interested in doing this
Yeah, for sure.
all together first, and then seeing about sometime on the weekend.
Yeah. Whatever
Getting
works
that put
for
together.
people is fine.
But yeah, so yeah, I should probably get going.
No worries.
Thanks for jumping on in here with me,
No worries.
and De La Hayes just showed up just in time for the ending.
Bye, Della.
Bye bye. Have a good night. Dave,
See ya.
or something. He's a lurker. I see how it is.